In case you just joined us, the show is Today with John and Helen, live on PlusTvAfrica. Mfon Inyang, communications strategist, public affairs analyst, and author, as well as Bukola Lamid, a mental health practitioner, will be joining us later. And last week we shared with you experiences, and we're trying to lay our hands on, is it the old or the new, old and new currencies? I don't know. Any luck this week, Helen?
No, none whatsoever. I think it's getting worse with the confusion.
Don't say.
The confusion has escalated. We really don't know what's happening. Yeah, last week we were buying old Naira notes with interest.
Yes.
This week we can't even find the old Naira notes, and if you have them, nobody's taking them from you.
Really?
And we have graduated from, been so many things happening, the Supreme Court judgment, the presidential address,
yes,
and the directive by the president himself, the various governments saying, no, we're still here, we're neither here, no. And those of us on the streets, the actual Nigerians, if I can use that word, we really don't know where we are.
I told you last week to keep that smile up, and something will happen.
Last week I smiled, right? Today I'm not doing
I hope you're still smiling. Well, I hear that now we're doing trade by barter.
Yes, we are.
If you have one tin of milk, you can use it to get.
Yeah, I saw a video and it was very, very hilarious, and I don't know how I felt when I saw it. Some young man, had to go use the goods he sells in his shop to buy rice, a plate of rice. Yeah. And I'm like, we're back to
the dark ages. Yeah, it's okay. Well, what even worries me is that we've seen bonfires and riots and what do you call it?
To be expected.
In certain areas. I hope that people will just calm down. We're only a few days away to, getting things onto another beat.
Yeah. Very sad that the banks are not even accessible.
It's quite tough.
A lot of them are shut. And you get there, you spend the whole day and nothing is done. But there's scary news.
Yeah.
From UBTH.
Okay.
We're told that the very first open heart surgery was conducted within this week in UBTH.
Would that be the very first? Maybe
at least in UBTH, yes, at UBTH, yes. That's scary news. Yeah, Lagos State Teaching Hospital has had one or two. Yes. So that's so we're making progress even in the midst of all of this madness and despair. Yeah, and Valentine was this week too.
Oh, it was.
How now?
Nothing now.
Oh boy. Wow.
Nothing.
Wow. Awesome. Well, the confusion gets greater. It's greater than it was previously, and tempers are flying in all directions. And again we ask, which way forward, yes?
Which way forward? Well, way forward is the reason why we're here today, Helen. Together with our two guests, we believe we shall have some answers. Now, straight to the first area of concern. 2023 elections. What should we expect? Let's welcome our guest, Mfon Inyang. Author, like I said earlier, public affairs analyst and communication strategist. Mfon, thank you for coming.
Morning, John. Morning, Helen. It's a great pleasure to be here. I could listen to your banter all day. I mean, you guys are just... that's Nigerians for you, the resilience of Nigerians. And I really admire that. Thank you very much for having me.
You can't come and die.
You can't come and kill us. You understand, yeah.
When you walked in, to the reception this morning,
yes.
You couldn't tell.
Yes.
But I was so elated, so happy that the younger ones are joining hands.
True.
To take back
their country.
To get interested.
Definitely.
In the affairs of the country.
Definitely.
And that's really, really awesome.
Definitely.
So this, I would say, is a patriotic assignment for you.
True.
And we say thank you for making
You're welcome.
our time to be here
Thank
with
you
us
very
today.
much.
All right.
So, I think that for now, let's try and break it down a bit. we'll build up with our questions. So election day is upon us.
Yeah.
Just a few days away. Let's ask you a basic question. Can we sincerely say that we are ready?
Thank you very much, John. We are ready. We have never been more ready. Like we were born for this. We have never been more ready because Nigerians have realized that elections have consequences. They have realized that the greatest threat to their redemption is apathy. So they have realized that it's behooves on them to take their destiny in their own hands. They have realized that sitting on the fence, staying on the sideline, something like sit down look, saying it's not of my business. Oh, I don't like that person. They are realizing that the election, they can draw a straight line from bad governance to socio-economic outcomes. You don't need education to know that you used to buy rice for 7,500 naira. And now, as at last Christmas, it was going for around 40,000. You don't even need to be educated to know that. So they are realizing that life is not progressive. We were sharing some banter before we came on air about how life was in the 70s and in the 80s. A lot of people think of that as the good old days. It seems Nigeria has progressively become worse. And a generation has arisen and said, you know what? Nigeria can be better. Nigeria can be greater than this. We are indeed the giant of Africa. But like the Gen Z says, a giant that is not gianting. And this generation has said, we're going to take back our country. That's why you see marches all across the country. They are not just sitting on Twitter. It's not just people becoming keypad warriors. They are realizing that everybody has their role to play in the redemption of Nigeria. And young people, especially my generation, say, you know what? We are going on the streets. We are going to vote. We are not just going to vote. We are going to go out and canvass for vote. We are going to vote for great leaders. It's no longer cash and carry. It's competence and carry. If you don't have what it takes, go and sit down in your house. Do you understand? Because if you cannot run a multi-million-dollar corporation, you have no business leading 200 million Nigerians. If you cannot say, I'm proud of that is my leader, that is the portrait I want to hang on my living room, then you should not be a leader. If you cannot mentor your own, if you cannot say, this person I'm voting for cannot mentor my children, then you should not be a leader. Because leadership is modeling. You must inspire action, you must inspire hope, you must inspire faith and patriotism in a country.
Becoming down now.
Yeah, becoming down like that. Okay, and listening to you, I am saying, yes, this is a time to be alive.
True.
So you said, yes, we're ready.
Yes.
From the perspective of voter enlightenment, awareness, and the realization of how important it is that voters get involved. That's, from your response, it's on the voter side of the people side.
Yes.
The people with the power side.
Yes.
Now, do you also think that the apparatus, the agencies, the powers that be, the various, you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Are they ready?
They are.
Okay.
And let me tell good news to Nigerians. We are the powers that be. Because the three most powerful words in any democracy are we the people. Do you understand? The three most powerful words in any democracy, we the people, we are ready. Right. The INEC, the police, all the state, they realize that they work for the common good of Nigerians. They realize that they are, if they are Nigerians before they are president, they are Nigerians before they are INEC officials. They are Nigerian. If anything goes to Nigeria, happens to Nigeria, they are also casualties. So they realize that it's in our common interest for us to have a free, credible, and fair elections.
Okay, let me stop you there.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of us have paid lip service to free and fair, free and fair.
Yes.
We all expect free and fair elections. What is free and what is fair? So what do we really expect?
Free and fair election is, to put it in layman's term, a level playing ground, meaning that everybody should, within the ambits of the law, solicit for votes. Do you understand? There should not be voter suppression, because voter suppression means that you're taking away the ability to decide for themselves. Everybody has the right of association. So there's voter suppression. You don't use thuggery. Do you understand? The electoral umpire does not act as though he has a dog in the fight. So all these are parameters of free. The security personnel are there to protect the voters, not to scare them away or to be partisan. All, like you mentioned, all the apparatus of state should be neutral. The INEC must not just be neutral, must be seen, very importantly, must be seen to be neutral, because INEC is not just conducting an election. They are giving legitimacy to governance. Do you understand? Yeah. So when they give legitimacy to governance, the winners will take the day, and the winners will go and say, okay, well, we lost. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there won't be conflict because the system was not just fair and free, it was seen, it was perceived. So free and fair election is where all the stakeholders are not working for any interest. They are beholden to the Nigerian people, and also where there's no intimidation, there's no voter suppression, there's no thuggery, there's no vote buying and selling. So that's what we call free and fair election.
So deep down in your heart, you think that we are ready?
I believe so. I believe you are ready for it.
With all these things that you've said that there shouldn't be, and I don't know if it's an influence of social media on us, but some of us are seeing some of these things, or we are perceiving or imagining some of these things.
I understand. A lot of those things are very valid because of apathy. It's easy to rig an election where people don't come out. Do you understand? So people scare you away. But when we come out in our numbers, do you understand? You need to understand that some of these people, and to use my word very carefully, they're cowards. Do you understand? They leverage on the fear of people. They say that you don't come out. So they come and they bully you and run into you. But when we come out in our numbers, when they see that the people are ready, do you understand? A lot of people start having a rethink. And in fairness to the president, he seems to want to have a legacy of free and fair governance. Do you understand? So of all the things you're going to say about the president, good or bad, the one thing I perceive he wants to be remembered for is the government that
he left behind.
You know what I'm saying, the free and fair election. Because even the president that he took over from said, hey, my ambition is not worth the blood of Nigerians. And today it's being celebrated. Musa Yar'Adua, God bless his soul, he said, you know what, the election that brought me in was not perfect, but I'm going to leave a legacy. So I think that president seems to be, choosing my words carefully, seems to be taking that part. And it remains to be seen if it come into reality on Saturday.
I love your energy.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm very positive.
So much,
I have to be.
So much energy.
Positivity, yes, that's the way to go.
I have to be positive.
Yeah, okay. So we're looking at just a few days before February 25th.
Yeah, a week exactly.
And hey, you see, if you get like 50 Nigerians together and you test, you know, what they are feeling, and there's fear here and there, there's anxiety, doubt, you know, what I want to ask people in your age bracket, and seeing that you are fully involved in this, what is the strategy now, just 1 week, you know, to get into the finishing line, if I can use that word? What would you be saying to Nigerians at this point in time so that we can finish well?
Our message is simple. All power belongs to your PVC. You are the most powerful person right now. That's why I say we are the powers that be. Do you understand? All power belongs to your PVC. If you realize that you are the boss of the president, the most powerful office in this country is not the president's office. It's not the governor's office. It's not the Senate office. It's the office of the citizen. So you realize that you have the power to vote in bad governance, or vote in good governance. And if you vote in bad governance, you're no longer a victim, you're an accomplice. Do you understand? We have made our point to make sure that there's demarcation. These are the candidates before you. We have interrogated them. We have given our submissions. We have gone and said, okay, you know what? These are consequences of voting this kind of person. Because you see, a man is who he is. A woman is who she is. Do you understand? You cannot run away from your shadow. People have history, and they will not suddenly change when they get to government. So you say, what are the antecedents? Someone that wants to lead you, what are the antecedents? What are you looking for in a governor? What are you looking for in a president? What are you looking for in a senate? We need criteria. Don't just voting out of emotion or social media like people say. We need to interrogate them. Yeah. Do you understand? So that we don't do what employers call recruitment error. Because some of the mistakes we made in the past, because we overlooked certain things. We say, oh, certificate does not matter. That does not matter. Those things that did not matter came back to haunt us. So now we have learned very painful lessons, all right? Not to give concessions, unpatriotic concessions. Anybody that is not meeting the criteria of who a great leader should be, at the president level, at the gubernatorial level, senate level, we'll do our best. That's why we're coming out in mass and say, you know what, I won't just be the only one. They're going to be other people like me are going to march to them. Look at what's happening today. Everywhere across the world, young Nigerians are saying, you know what, we are not just joking. This is the election of our lifetime. It's the most consequential elections, and we are going to say something about it.
Wow.
So that's us.
Yes.
The youth.
Well, when you say us, well,
yes,
you are an ordinary member of the.
I'm an ordinary member.
Of the
organization.
Yes, of the demographic.
Somebody said to me that you're youth at heart.
Yes.
Yes,
you're young at heart.
And I claim
you're
that.
young at heart.
But sincerely, Mfon, are we ready?
We are.
As the youth, are we going to come out, or are we just going to sit with our phones?
We are.
And spread
message. Or is it just about the rallies?
Yes.
No, it's not about the rally. You see, young people, you know, this. I understand where that question is coming from, a place of concern, because we have not seen a reason to come out. Young people have not seen a reason to come out. Understand that young people, they have to have a skin in the game. Do you understand? They don't see, the leaders, the political parties are very clever by half. They throw out candidates that evokes apathy. Candidates that only traditional voters vote for. Do you understand? People, traditional voters, because they feel, okay, it's business as usual. The first thing about this election is that it's not business as usual. Okay. That's the first thing. Okay. And young people have seemingly gotten a consensus and say, you know what? This time our future is on the line. We'll never be this young again. If you add 8 years to our age, you are getting older.
And you probably wouldn't have this opportunity.
Exactly. We are in our prime. We have lost 8 years to bad governance. Never again. So it's in our interest to come out now. It's no longer, it does not concern me. Do you understand?
Okay.
Your businesses have been affected by policies.
Okay.
So everything is now consequential. So what happened in the NSAS? And people say never again will that kind of thing happen. So to make sure that thing doesn't happen again, we are going to vote a government we can hold responsible.
Okay, we are sold on that.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Finally.
you're not the only group that feels disenfranchised. Sized. You know. Helen.
Yeah. The women?
What do you think?
No, we're good.
You're good?
Yeah, we're good. You see, it's a journey of 1,000 miles. You see, it begins with one step.
So the women are ready? Good to go?
Well, the women are ready. The women are ready.
If you ask me, women are going to say a lot because women, look at what happened in the legislature. They were dehumanized. Their rights were taken away from them.
Yes.
They will have a say. By the way, next month is Women's Month, and trust me, they'll give a gift to Nigerians.
Wow. Excellent.
Brilliant.
Okay, so as we round off,
Yes.
look into the crystal ball and give one young Nigerian something to smile about today.
There is a favorite quote from one of my favorite TV series called Game of Thrones. It says, "The night is dark and full of terrors, but not for long. After this, there's hope." I'm telling you that there's a new Nigeria that is coming, a new Nigeria is possible. And young people are going to be spearheading that new Nigeria. Do you understand? This is a generational shift, something that has never happened, not just in Nigeria, in modern African politics. It's going to happen on the 25th of February. It's going to be a ballot-based revolution. People will write about it for thousands of years. That the young of Nigeria, the youth of Nigeria, the lazy Nigerian youth, those 4 people tweeting in a room, they stood up at the time when their country needed them the most, and they took back their country. And we are the generation that will pull it together.
After this, there is
hope.
There is
after this dark tunnel.
Okay.
Wow.
I see that you've done a little.
Yes, I have.
Writing
Yes, I have. Actually, I'm an author amongst one other thing. I'm a communication strategist. But I realized that beyond, I need to document. One of the problems of the country is that we don't document history. So they come and they lie to us. The reason why propaganda is valid is because people don't document thoughts. Do you understand? I learned that very early from my father. He worked in WAEG. So every day I document my thoughts. And this is one of my books. And this book is very powerful because I wrote it before the election. Before the primaries, 1 year before the primaries, and everything I said about Nigerian youth is happening now.
So,
and
so that we don't send you an invoice.
It's hope is not a strategy.
Just give us
yes,
a copy.
Thank you. I'm honored to give a copy of this.
We'll read.
Thank you so much. It's called Hope is Not a Strategy.
Thank you
not a
so
business.
much, Mfon Inyang.
Thank you so much.
It's so nice to have you on our show.
Thank
and
you.
I hope
I'm honored to
that
be here.
you'll be close by, not too far from us.
Definitely.
Here,
Anytime you call, I'll be a call
We can draft
away.
you into the studio.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be
Thank you so
here.
much for your insight. It's been most.
Thank you. We're blessed to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Today. All right, moving on. It's still today with John and Helen on Plus TV Africa. We say caution, we say civility, we talk about patriotism. This must guide us as we forge ahead and do the needful come February 25th.
Yeah, of course, and there's voter awareness, which you talk about, which is
very key.
Nigeria really must pick up the pieces and make a swift, move towards progress. For this to happen, we must all get involved, and that was the message that our guest just gave us. With that said, it's time for our next break, and when we return, we shall be looking at elections and our mental health with Bukola Lamid. Join us again.